G'day throttlers and welcome back to the channel. Now, I'm on holidays, so I'm not going to be filming a lot for you guys, but I know that a lot of you have asked me to feature a couple of little things along the way. So what I'm going to do a little bit of a highlight reel to keep you involved on my holiday, even while I'm having a bit of a break from using cameras and editing software. But I'm currently in the South Australian Outback, just north of Port Augusta. This is day 3 for me on the road. I haven't filmed anything up until now. I went Sydney to Balranald, Adelaide, Adelaide today, Port Augusta, and my destination today is Coober Pedy. So super pumped as well. I just passed my first ever wild emus. On the side of the road, there was about a dozen emus just there grazing. And super pumped because, I mean, I've seen bunches of emus on farms and in zoos and all that sort of stuff. But to see them on the side of the road in the wild, in the Outback, it's my first time to the Outback. I was pretty pumped, pretty excited. Anyway, I didn't have time to put the camera on, but I'll be sure to try and capture little bits and pieces of my holiday for you guys. So sit back and enjoy. Okay, with about 6 hours and 20 minutes done from Adelaide, I land here in a place called Glendambo. Now I've just fueled up. I've got 255 kilometers until I get to Coober Pedy, and I only had about 240 kilometers worth of fuel. So I've topped up. I've now got 446 kilometers of fuel, and I've found myself what looks to be a nice little pub. I might stop here for lunch and have a feed and a rest and then keep going. Okay, so I guess I better tell you a little bit about this trip. So, we've been planning a trip, Mrs. Throttle and I, to Uluru, Ayers Rock. We wanted to do it before COVID, then COVID happened. We didn't get to do it. So, now that we can travel again, we started planning again. And the idea was to fly into Alice Springs, hire a car, drive all the way to Adelaide, drop the car off, fly home. When we did some research about car hire, it was going to be almost $8,000 just to hire a car for it. So what I decided is that I'll drive one of our cars all the way across. Mrs. Throttle would fly into Alice Springs and would still do the same holiday, and then she'll fly home from Adelaide. So that's what we've done. So essentially, I'm on day 3. I left Sydney on Monday, Sydney to Balranald on the first day, crossed the Hay Plains. Nothing really exciting to film across there. It was just a lot of rain and road trains and flat roads. Day 2, Balrenal to Adelaide. Again, nothing too exciting. I did most of the trip in the dark. I left really early and got into Adelaide at lunchtime. Caught up with the Bolt Bucket, which was really, really nice to hang out with him for a little bit. And then slept, and today is the big day. It was 9 hours from Adelaide to Coober Pedy. And I'm an hour out of Coober Pedy now, and I'm absolutely buggered. I've been getting a bit heavy-eyed while I'm driving, so I've pulled over to a little rest stop to look at the scenery, which is pretty bloody amazing, to be fair, and just get a bit of a fresh air, have a stretch, and then punch in the last 1 hour into Coober Pedy. Tonight I'm staying underground at Coober Pedy in an old mine shaft. Again, Mrs. Throttle doesn't want to stay underground on the way back down, so I'm doing it on the way up so I can actually have the experience. Anyway, time for me to do some stretching, have a bit of water, and get ready for the final stretch into Coober Pedy. 1 hour to go. Look at this. Absolutely amazing. Just checked into the Lookout Cave underground motel, so let's go in and have a look at what this is all about. I don't know how much of this will pick up. Well, there you go, the underground motel room. Look at the walls. Well, this is my pad for the night, so I'm going to go and unpack the car and chill and maybe go and explore the town. All right, so I'm all checked in to the underground motel at Coober Pedy here, but what a unique place. I've never seen a town like this. I know Mad Max was filmed out at Silverton, but this town just gives me real Mad Max vibes. So I'm just going to go for a bit of a wander. I want to find some food for dinner and just have a look around because I'm leaving here bright and early in the morning. However, I will be back here in a few days to spend a whole day here. So whatever I miss on this little bit, I'll bring to you in the future. But wow, what a cool joint. What a magic place. If you haven't been to Coober Pedy, you have to come here. It's such a unique, unusual, otherworldly sort of a place. Anyway, time to get some fuel, head further north to Alice Springs. What I didn't realise is that this weekend in Alice Springs, which is where I'm heading now, is the Red Centre Nats, so like our summer Nats that we have down in Canberra. And the road has been full of classic cars, hot rods, trailer rigs, the whole lot. So hopefully, if we're lucky, we'll be able to capture some very cool machines on the road today, heading to Alice. Anyway, I would say that my next 7 hours are going to be pretty boring. So let's just flick on a little bit of a highlight roll now and see you soon. There's not a lot out here, team. There's not a lot out here. There's just a lot of straight, high-speed roads. A lot of animals. I've seen some beautiful wedge-tailed eagles. I've seen a couple of dead camels, snakes, goats, emus. I've seen a little bit of everything. And it's been very, very cool. And in particular, there was a kangaroo carcass on the side of the road that had 3 massive wedge-tailed eagles just sitting on him, having a bit of a feast. And they were bloody huge. They were magnificent big birds. Anyway, there's not much to show you out here, team. Just continue on. I've got a coffee from a little roadhouse called Marla, and gee, that was an experience, getting some fuel there and a coffee. I wouldn't be choosing to go back there if I don't have to, I can tell you that for a fact. Anyway, Alice Springs, here we go. Oh, and by the way, if you're ever travelling up here, I've been beautifully listening to podcasts on Spotify, music on Spotify, audio books on Audible. Now today, from Coober Pedy North, and even a little bit of south of Coober Pedy, there is 0 service at all. So I can't, and it's stupid, it's an amateur mistake. I didn't download any of my playlists. I've been listening to them streaming. Amateur. So today, I've just got me and my own thoughts singing. There's no music, there's no audio books, and just my own head and a very bad singing voice. Anyway, I won't succumb you to that. See you soon. Learning to fly, love me tender. Cheap, dirty deeds done the cheap. Saying I love you. Solid rock, standing on sacred ground. If you wanna get down on the ground. Cocaine on a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair. I'm just about to go into the Northern Territory. Here we go. Look at that, I've made it. My first ever time to the Northern Territory, and I'm just about to cross the border. I'm absolutely pumped. Yeah, baby. Well, that's the Coober pub. A couple of nice little Harleys on a trailer there. And time to keep going. I think next stop might be Alice. We're on the road to nowhere. Come back inside. Taking that ride to nowhere. We'll take that ride. If you know, you know. So being an amateur photographer, when I travel, you always want to capture your version of what you see when you're away. Now, when I went to London in 1999, I had my first SLR camera with film in it. That was back in the film days. And I bought a couple of black and white rolls to use while I was in London, because my goal was to capture some beautiful, rainy, wet, moody London shots. But guess what? July 1999 was a heat wave in London. It was dry, it was hot, and I couldn't get the photos I wanted. Years later, I went to Hollywood Boulevard, and let's just face it, Hollywood Boulevard's an absolute cesspool of shit. Then, another bunch of years later, Niagara Falls. Beautiful, Niagara Falls is amazing, but I went in winter. Well, it was not winter, but it was unscheduled snow. And it was thick, thick snow. Still got great photos, but not the photos that I was personally after. So, here I am in the Northern Territory, in the Australian outback for the first time ever, and wanting to get those beautiful, arid, dry, red dirt photos. But it's raining, there's water everywhere, and it's bloody green. How am I supposed to get these beautiful red desert photos when it's green? I mean, it's magnificent that they've had so much rain out here, and it's raining now as we speak, but I might have to fake the photos. No, you never fake the photos. I'm sure when I get into Uluru in the next couple of days in Kings Canyon, I'll be able to get some very, very beautiful red dirt photos. But I'm about an hour out of Alice now, not far to go. It's been a long, long 4 days, and to be completely honest, I'm really looking forward to getting into Alice and then sharing the driving for the rest of the holiday. Anyway, I've just pulled over here to the Cannonball Memorial. That's all in Japanese, that side. So as you probably know, in the States there's a Cannonball Run event where all these amazing cars race across the country. In Australia they tried it too, on these Northern Territory roads that at the time didn't have speed limits. Now it's this stretch of roads restricted to 130 kilometers an hour. But sadly, during that race, the year that they did it here, there was a big accident and a whole bunch of people died. And this is a memorial to the people that lost their lives in that Cannonball Run here in the Northern Territory in Australia. So very, very sad day for Australian motoring sports, which I'm a big fan of Aussie motorsports, but still the names live on, and they died participating in a sport they loved. I guess we all die sometime, and if we can do it doing something we love instead of dying in a hospital, well, there's something to be said for that, hey? 1 hour to go until Alice, and I'm excited.